Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Axe Ministry, Axe Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. I left my computer at home, so I'm having to use the phone. Live from Axe Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts. Matt Jay!
It's up loud.
Oh, your headphones are up loud. Sorry. Do I need to go turn them down?
No, I'll do it.
Here, I'll turn that down too.
No, don't worry about it.
Regret was my heart to see. All right. Waiting for the hook, and then we're going to turn it down. Always be 2, 3, but that's all changed. That's all changed. And you said this guy. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Tanner.
I'm glad to have everybody on board with us today. I tried to cut you off there. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
So,
Wow.
so we leave the house. Tanner and I do. And Tanner goes, "Oh crap!" I'm like, what? I left my computer, and he's got a class he's got to do here at 9. You know?
Yeah.
So I said, okay. We turned around. We went back. He got it. And then we got all the way here. And I'm like, crap. He said, what? I said, I forgot my book bag with my computer in it. So, anyways. Somebody said, Axe Media Group posted, the air is so full of sanitizer that I'm not even getting dirty thoughts these days. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Huge fan. Huge fan. So, Jay's, yeah, I do hear that little noise coming from the, so I'm going to go ahead and unplug the phone.
Sorry, I'm never prepared for that
Hello.
that noise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
All right, we're glad to see everybody. We're all like just being
All
quiet.
one people?
All one of us.
That's me, too, right?
Just the one of us.
I'm the one, right?
Yeah, I'm watching too.
There you are.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I'm going to see if this thing will actually,
Hey, good morning.
this computer runs a little bit slow whenever you try to do Facebook on it. So I'm going to have to use my phone.
Apparently my ears are hypersensitive.
Yeah.
Are they?
You know.
So am I on the wrong one or something? Because there's only one. I only see one person.
No, you see one. I see one. We're all see one.
We all see. I see one.
Oh, there's two.
There's
Tanner.
two. Oh, there's two.
Hey, that's me. That's me.
All right.
So
Where two more gathered, there I am in the midst of them. That's
Amen,
what he
brother.
says.
I'm about
In my
to-
name.
All right, so
Are we gathered in his name?
we are gathered in his name. Right, post.
and I'm starting.
Boy, it's warm in here.
Yeah, and I've got the air on.
It's
Yeah.
probably
I'm
not
gonna have to go
Didn't-
turn it off.
Doesn't seem like it's blowing air.
Why don't you try letting a bird in here this time?
A bird?
Yeah.
Yeah, let a bird on.
You know, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna go turn the heat off.
Yeah.
Because apparently,
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
I love how professional we are.
Oh yeah, that's right. Look at that. Do you see that, guys? Whoa! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That change is amazing. Like it's like that. It's like woo woo, and then it just goes away. You know, kind of like that sound that the coffee machine makes, Jay.
Sound?
The woo 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 sounds, Jay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The woo.
Yeah, like the coffee
Yeah,
machine.
the coffee machine. Oh my gosh, I could hear you say that whenever my
What's that?
dad was on the phone with you.
Yeah, he's like, wee, wee. How did you say that?
Yes.
And it's
I'm
funny
like, what? How was that? How did that go? Morning, Steve Schultz.
because I remember going to the gas station and hearing it and realizing it does sound just like that.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty funny.
Does he spend time impersonating coffee makers?
Yeah. Is that like a profession of yours?
Yes, sir.
He builds stuff with wood, and that would be on his resume. Build stuff with wood, and impersonate coffee machines really well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some say if you're craving coffee, don't come around him because it sounds so realistic that you will have withdrawals.
Yeah.
So Steve Mickey Mac, what they did yesterday went well. He was asleep when his wife called me last night. When Rachel Mickey Mac called me, and sorry.
That was my
I've shared. Larry Melton, welcome to the party. Anyways, he's got to go back in a couple weeks. They removed some stuff from some stuff, and then he has to go back and get it finished getting removed. So he was in quite a bit of pain after they got back yesterday. So he took a pain pill and went to bed. So he probably was already pretty sleepy. But that I can imagine that would be very painful. Do you need need to turn your headphones down? You're squinting a little bit.
No, I'm thinking about what happened to Steve.
I know. That's nuts, man. It hurts to think about it.
Yep.
But we're praying for you, Steve, if you're watching. I really I'm so used to having my computer here.
Yeah, you keep reaching for it.
I keep going,
Interesting.
hey, there's not a computer here.
Interesting.
Yes.
You're
Everybody-
experiencing
How many times have you
phantom
used that battery
computer
now?
syndrome.
A lot.
A lot?
Like,
Well, we
How long
charge
have
it
you had
up.
it?
We charge it up. I've had it for, 2 years now?
That's not the same one that I had.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
is it really?
Absolutely. You know what I'm using it for?
Everything.
Powering the fan.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Because
won't
I don't
wear
have-
it out, huh?
No.
you know,
It does a pretty good job.
it's kind of like how whenever how people habitually go for their phone, or whenever something isn't there and you constantly keep reaching for it, or your brain is so used to having it around, you feel like it's there.
You know what I need to do? Sketch out a whole bunch of these motorcycles, and then, sketch out one of these motorcycles just as it is, and then get a bunch of copies of it
Yeah.
so that I can try different drawings to see.
Yeah, and you
yeah.
should do it in a different, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but I would do it in a different color ink too. So like you would have all the copies in black and white, and then you would use like a blue or a red ink so that you could see the outline of the shape that you're looking for better.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're doing it, but you're managing to kick me straight in my knee to where my foot keeps kicking outward.
Oh,
I'm hitting your reflex?
Yes.
I didn't know that's what I was
too funny.
kicking. I didn't even know I was kicking you.
Yeah. You started with my shin, and then you just
Here.
started kicking.
How's that? There you go.
Can't feel it. That's better.
You're out
Thank
of
you.
reach.
Yeah.
You're out of reach. You're out of my reach, bro. 6 feet. Social distancing.
well, there is
There's
6
like
feet here, so
three-
we're okay.
We're not 6 feet. You and me aren't 6 feet. He and I aren't 6 feet apart.
We're like 3,
No.
2.5.
How old are you?
Oh,
2 point.
Eight.
No,
It's eight.
no. That's if Kevin were here, it would be 2.5. What? No. Kevin, you know Kevin.
That's not
Yeah.
that's not how that works.
I'm not sure I understand.
Well,
what you
I'm just
mean.
saying because we got feet.
No.
2 for it'd be 6,
Oh,
7.5 is what we'd have.
Oh.
Yeah, we do have 6 feet.
Love you,
here.
Kevin. Yeah.
We do actually have 6 feet here, but we are not.
Now
6
you
feet
get it,
apart.
man. Whew, boy, that was tough.
Yeah, because I have 2 feet, you have 2 feet, and he has 2 feet.
Oh.
You know,
makes 6 feet,
I'm going to
which
I'm
makes
going to
30 toes.
say this again
Wow.
because I know Steve wants
31
me to.
because I have an extra.
When are you going to post pictures of your new bike, Jay?
Oh, who asked that?
Steve Schultz
Ah.
for like the 20th time.
Yeah, when are you?
Yeah, I need to.
Don't you have a picture of it on your phone?
No, I don't think so.
Well, what were you using to draw?
I was using that off the internet.
Oh,
I just said, "Hey Google, show me a picture of the Honda Fury." Bam.
and it did it. You know, whenever we realized that we could do that. No, we're not late. We started up.
What do you mean late? Who is this?
Joe Katie said you're late.
We're not late. Oh, we're always late. That means
Well, we
we're
weren't
on
that
time.
late. No, we were about 8:01. So
We're always late because so that means we're on time, bro. Yo,
now I
hey,
did
bro.
notice that they've got the coffee cups back out. They got the coffee cups back out at your work again.
They got what?
Coffee cups are back out at convenience stores again.
We've got we've got all of them out.
Oh,
Soda
well,
cups too.
well, we still had to ask for cream and sugar over there.
Did you have to?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still had to do that too.
So they're doing it in phases, right?
Who knows what's happening? I don't know.
Nobody.
They're trying to see how it spreads. So if they put cups out and then we have a spike, we know that it can spread that way.
Well, that makes sense.
If it
Process
doesn't, then we
of
know
elimination.
it doesn't, or it's not likely. And that's called, I think the CDC
no,
is
we've
calling
been,
that tracing.
Oh,
No, we've been
that's
broadcasting.
straightforward, man.
Observation. Not observation.
Yeah, we've been broadcasting since
surveillance.
801.
Oh, interesting.
So they change the rules differently in different places where there's like, and they compare to places that have like outbreaks. So if we have a certain population and a certain number of outbreaks, they would give two different places with similar conditions different rules
Yeah.
and see if there's differences in the spikes. And that if as they change those rules, those spikes change. If they make those rules more alike, do they have more like responses? So that's a way that they do what's called surveillance, and that's how they can
They figure
and
out-
and look at the sources. I mean, the United States, 300 million people. How many different cities?
Is
and-
there really 300 million people?
Yeah.
That's not a small amount of people. I'm gonna open up that window too. It's hot in here.
300
Yeah.
million.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you have all those different populaces and you have all those different census, and we just had a census not too long ago, so they got pretty good numbers. So yeah, that's how they can kind of who's changing rules, and they probably have without. I mean, they don't make that publicly available, though it probably is somewhere. They probably do have a system that compares it now.
Man, that's a lot.
Where communities like our community leaders will enter the data that
300
they
million
get,
people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. That's a
so
lot
they
of
can make
farts.
the comparisons,
Right.
accurate comparisons, because they wouldn't compare us to Detroit. Yeah, I mean,
No.
it wouldn't be like, well, it's a whole different region, so it's a colder region,
Yeah.
you know, and the population is way higher than ours.
Yeah.
That people are more densely, you know,
Packed in there together.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. That's why New York was hit pretty hard,
Yeah.
but that's because they have. There's I think the amount of people in New York,
They're
is
still being
probably
hit pretty hard.
like even just in New York City alone. There's probably the population of
I think it's like 7 million.
in New York City. Wow, and that's not even that big of a place.
Mexico City's 26 million.
Oh.
That's and the areas are not even that big of an area.
That's like 4 times the size of New York in population.
That's incredibly crazy.
It's, land wise, do we know is Mexico City or New York smaller?
Oh, Mexico City is bigger, way bigger.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
And that's
so-
in New
The
Mexico.
majority, I don't. Yeah, in Mexico,
Oh, in Mexico.
Central America.
Yeah.
So that's not in the States.
No,
No.
No.
but comparatively, you wouldn't compare those two cities either because one was basically right on the equator,
Yeah.
Yeah. The
and
equator.
the other one is. I don't remember.
I
the
would
name of
wager
it.
the virus would fare better in New York than it would down in.
Yeah, because it's saying it survives better in colder, drier environments. So the
Yeah, they
warmer it
have
is and the more humid it is, the lower its half-life is, the less its half-life is.
They had people going around taking hair dryers and just blowing their face, like blowing up their nose for the hair dryer.
Yeah.
I mean, you think that's do you think that's effective? Like I don't understand cloth masks. I mean,
So if you have it, best thing to do is if you have mild symptoms, okay, everybody should be conducting themselves as
Like
though
they
they
have
have
it. Yes,
and
absolutely.
they're highly contagious. You don't want to be responsible for spreading this.
Yeah.
right?
When it comes to something so contagious, they can trace that right back to you. They can go into the place where it's spreading from, which is you, and find it.
Yeah.
Because you put all those little dots on a map where each person, a dot where they work, a dot where they live, and a dot where they shop. You put all those dots together, and it's going to be a map that leads straight to you.
Yeah. That would.
Are you talking about triangulation, but with the virus? But with
No, I'm talking about even simpler than that.
Yeah.
A map. Just a map. That dot is going to be so red right at the center. It's going to lay out a map that leads to the pinpoint on the map where the virus is coming from.
That's
It's
crazy.
just simple, you know.
Sorry, I'm sharing. I have to do this from a computer to share to my story. My computer automatically pauses live videos on here if it's what you call it, pulling too much juice. Share. Well, it's not letting me do it. Ask me a group. So yeah, what's up? What's up, you guys? You guys waiting on me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to share this on my what you
So
call
it's
it.
Friday. Yahoo.
It is Friday. Yahoo.
Yeah.
A lot of yoo-hoos. And I'm not talking to Beverage neither. So I hope I don't cut us off. Because I have to do this from in here. So I apologize if we get cut off, folks. Steve
I gotta
Schultz
do the
says
regular
that's early
maintenance
for
on my
us.
motorcycle.
The what?
I got to do the maintenance on my motorcycle this weekend.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And you were also talking about like what you're going to be doing, like in designing bags and stuff.
Yeah, the saddlebags. I got to design some saddlebags that are going to work for me. That'll be big enough to take because I ride in this part of the country where I live. I ride in diverse weather conditions, so I leave early in the morning. So during this time of year, it can be 35, 40 degrees and raining.
Yeah.
Right. Well, then I ride in late in the morning, and it can be 60 by then.
Yeah. So
And-
you got to keep
and
a whole bunch
dry.
of stuff with you.
Or 60 and wet. You don't want to ride 60 and 35. I'm sorry, 35 degrees, dark, no sunlight, and free and raining. You don't want to use the gear that you would use to ride in that weather for 60-degree weather and raining,
Steve Schultz says every day is Friday for him.
because you'll be hot. It will be too much gear.
That's the way. That's the way to live, Steve.
So I have to be able to take a lot of gear off and put it on as the weather demands.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes you about, 5 minutes to put it on?
Sometimes, yeah, if I go right to it and be diligent about it.
Yeah, you were taking it off and putting it on so much during the wintertime you threw your shoulder out.
Uh-huh.
And
my back.
And then threw your back out.
Threw my back out first.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Oh, no, it was my shoulder. I tore it. Putting a boot on.
That phrase, that expression, that must have come from different times because
What?
Throw the baby out with the bathwater?
because you can't exactly throw. You don't like. What do you do with bathwater to get it out of a tub now?
You go, and it goes.
And now, okay, so I don't think our viewers heard that.
Whoosh is what it does.
What? So the expression is because they're worried the baby will get sucked down the drain.
No, I think
No.
it's talking about like adding to your problems or it's something that doesn't make sense. It's like throwing the baby out with the
It's
bathwater.
like out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Well,
only
it-
intentional.
Right. Well, see, it also is like, okay, so the whole reason something would be a problem is because there's something of value there that's at risk. So you can't say, oh, the water's dirty and then throw the baby out with it, right? Because the problem is that the baby's dirty.
And you need to get clean water.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. We've just expounded on an idiom.
Well, I think there's
Hey, I'm not an idiom.
there's more to it than that.
That's
but
not very nice.
you see what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of like that one saying. It's like wipe it before you poo. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Or like throwing the bathwater out with the baby. Depending on where you're at, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the circumstances would.
Sparta, old ancient Sparta.
The Lion King.
You know that was the real thing. Like whenever the babies were born, they would be inspected by the village elders, and if they were sickly or didn't look, or if they were deformed in any way, they would just they would chuck it.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
That's cruel.
Steve Schultz said he heard that when he was a kid. Did you get tossed out a lot with the bathwater there, Steve?
Yeah, yo, Steve Areno. Steve Meister.
So you're going to be sitting on here doodling and stuff.
I am doodling, yes.
It's hard. See, whenever I'm doodling, I can't pay attention to anything at all. Period. What are you doing? Are you awake? What's up?
Yeah, I am. I was just thinking that, like, whenever I was a kid, I would never have to worry. I would always overfill the tub almost.
Yeah.
Luckily, they installed those drains on the sides of the tub because I can tell you if I was a kid, I would overflow the tub several times.
Do you remember as a kid, like you losing your traction and slipping, and then sliding, and then trying to get up and you
in
can't?
the tub?
Yeah.
Okay, funny story. That
Like
had
unintentional.
never happened to me once in my entire life until I went on this trip with my friend, okay? So we're staying in this hotel. It's just, I mean, we're staying in this hotel, and it's just him and his mom and I, right? And then
Right.
and
Get the popcorn.
and
ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
about to I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to take a shower, and she's like, "There's a mat in there, if you want to put it on the bottom of the
I
tub."
wasn't there.
You know, like you know those
Yeah.
mats?
A shower mat,
Right, for traction. And I was like, "Oh, I mean,
bathtub mat.
I literally say I
mean a
hardly ever
bathtub mat.
I hardly ever use these things. I'll be fine." And it was the one time in my entire life that I fell down.
That's kind of humorous.
It is. It's absolutely
It
hilarious.
is kinda.
I mean, you didn't crunch your skull, so we're good. Steve said no, they loved him too much. He said, "You have a friend, Tanner?" Man, Steve. Wow. Steve is like, "Oh, who's that?" You're like Don Rickle, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Don
Steve.
Rickle Steve.
That's his new name.
Don Rickle Steve.
Yeah, Steve, I have several friends.
What?
What's going on?
Yeah, I think I'm getting it.
Did I hear somebody?
Somebody I see. Well, nobody.
I gotta. No, I'm sorry.
So this is an interesting show.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because you're drawing. Somebody said a complaint was received against your Facebook page, but I'm afraid to get it. I'm afraid to go there because it says Space Mobile. I think this might be a. I hope it's not somebody trying to steal my.
Music?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not adding my. No.
What?
It's a scam, isn't it?
Well, what it is you get this text message, and it says, "Info: abuse complaint was received against you Facebook page.
Oh,
So they can't even.
More details available."
put it
Now, this
together in
is
proper English.
I'm gonna say this, folks. Facebook will not send you a text message on your phone.
that is true.
Do not answer these. And it's official looking. It's scary. So you go into this thing and you type, and it tells you, you go there and this thing comes up and it's just a blue banner. All right. So this is a public service. And Facebook, if you're watching, if I'm incorrect in this, please let me know. But let me see here. Let me merge this over and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. This is a public service is what I'm thinking here. And
All right, hey, zoom into you. You got that?
this is what it looks like. You see what I mean? It has where you're supposed to put in your email address or phone number and your password or create a new account, but there's no Facebook anything on here. This doesn't have an FB anywhere.
Yeah.
It's got, so this is someone's just trying to steal my login info.
How did they get access to your number?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. I know that there's some way to phone advertise, so I don't know how it works exactly, but I've seen advertisements on YouTube talking about these like phone advertisements, phone advertisers, and how somehow they get access to, numbers, and then they send you advertisements to your text, which I think is wrong. It's kind of an infringement of privacy.
Yeah. Is everybody seeing this okay? I mean, is this all right, everybody?
Yeah, so this is a different computer that we're running this on.
No, it's the same computer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No.
Yeah.
Morning, Samantha Brooks.
Good morning. Good
Tanner,
morning.
I hope you learned your lesson. That's what Letta M. Mowen said.
Yep.
Heaven is on.
Oh,
Hi, Heaven.
good morning.
Good morning, young lady.
So, yeah.
Appreciate your contribution and your sacrifice.
No,
and the work that you
Letta,
do.
I don't enter anything. I am so paranoid about that stuff. That's why I have yet to have to change because I've seen people who've had to have like 2 or 3 different times they've had to start up a new account and delete their old account. But I'm very, very paranoid about that. So
I have been too, and I've changed my account several times.
Facebook
because-
will not send you a text message about anything unless you tell them to. And I have not cleared that. My number is nowhere on there. If a complaint has been filed against you, they'll email you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was gonna say, like, I've
Well, and
changed
you'll
my.
discover that usually by your Facebook page not working right.
yeah.
You'll be like, hey, what's wrong? And they'll be like, oh, well, this is what's wrong.
So and it looks like everybody's able to see us. So
Yeah.
I'm glad about that. I'm gonna give myself a thumbs up. So Jay, what are you doing over there? What's up?
I'm working on my sketch for my saddlebags.
Great. It's a great time for it.
Yeah,
So-
it is. Just like it's a great time for other things. Bro.
I've never. So I don't keep my.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
That
Don't worry
was
about it.
that was not very nice.
That's okay. So and I
But
just
see,
had
I'm working on it.
I just had that on my face for like the
I don't know
last
if you
like,
can
20
even tell
minutes.
what's there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry about that, everybody. You guys had to look at my
Does
face
that
for
even
the
give
last
you
like
any
10
idea of
minutes.
its shape?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like
I see it. I see it. I can
looks like a-
visualize.
an acorn on the side.
Sort of. Huh. Yeah.
I never.
I'm kind of jealous because I've never been able to draw or sketch anything.
You can actually see a shape in that?
Yeah, I can.
I've never been able to draw or sketch. Letta says, good, me too. Yeah, don't enter anything. Yeah, definitely.
Do not give
So
anything
many
on.
people fall for that kind of stuff. I almost fell for that, where you put in, like if you're putting in for a job search, and you get a message from somebody offering to let you be a secret shopper or evaluate businesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you put in all your info, then they make it so official acting. It's insane. And what it is they're capitalizing on people who are desperate to get a job. And they think, oh, this is great. I've always wanted to be a secret shopper. Your mom and I used to talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
But I get this message and it says, okay, I put in my info and stuff, and then out of nowhere I get this check for $19,500.
Nice.
Right. But it said $19,500, and then in the other line it was $1,950, and it was just out of nowhere. It was just with nothing in it, just a check
In the mail?
in the mail. You were here. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And I called the bank that the check was written at, or was drawn from, supposedly.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I just got this in the mail and for no reason whatsoever. I don't get it. And then she said, well, all I can tell you is there's enough to cover either amount in that. I said, well, don't you think that's kind of sketchy? Well, all I can tell you is there's enough in that account to cover either amount that you just said. So I took it to my bank and I said, what's up with this? I tried to deposit it like
You
a
did
dummy.
try?
I did. But I gave it to the lady behind the counter. And I said, if this is legit, I want to deposit it and I want to be able to do whatever. I didn't know. I was, at the time I needed a job.
So you did employ their advice.
Yeah, I did employ their advice. And she went back and she made a photocopy of it. She came back and she said, okay, a couple things really wrong with this check. Number one, two different amounts on the check itself. And number two, she said, I took a photocopy of this. And on our machine, I guess I don't know what it is, she said, on most checks, if you photocopy them, there's a void or something on the actual copy because of the watermark that the copy machine can't watch or can't see. Now that's no longer the case, but back then that's how it was. So I get a message, a text message from this person who's so-called my employer saying, okay, so you should have received a check by now. What you need to do is it's a cashier's check, so you can go cash it and take the money out, and then go to your nearest what is that? Western Union.
Yeah.
And evaluate it by sending us. All right, so they said keep $400 for your fee, and then and wire the rest to this address. This Western Union, this address in Manila. In Manila.
So it's basically exporting cash.
Yes, that doesn't belong to you.
Yeah.
Now, and then we worked at a bank then.
That belongs to the bank that cashes the check, actually.
Yeah. And then what happens is...
and they say your bank in the language, take this to your bank.
It was a real bank. It was a real bank. What it is this person has this special check paper somehow with the account number on it that is an accurate account, and I guess it's for some lawsuit. That's a payout account for some lawsuit. But you go there, you cash it, you do this, they send it to them, and then 5 or 6 days later, since it's a cashier's check, they'll cash it for you.
Right.
You know, any bank will cash it for you.
Yeah.
But you send it to this place in Manila, and then 5 days later you get a message, or you get the thing, the check bounces, and then your bank is like, this check bounced, and you have to put the money back in it that you took out. Mm-hmm. And there's no way to do it. So I messed around with this person. I didn't actually do it, obviously, but I said, yeah, there was a problem with that check. They had two different amounts on it. They said, well, don't worry about it. We'll send you another one. I said, well, no, the bank has it, so I can't shred it. Well, can't you tell them to just shred it? I said, no, I think they want to look further into this and make sure that there's nothing funny going on. I mean, I said, I'm sure you won't mind that. That's not a problem for you, right? You know, and they got mad. And then we talked to a friend of ours at a bank that we were cleaning. And they had, I don't know if you were there for that, but they said they had actually been on the phone with the person that's doing this, and they were cussing him up one side and down the other, telling him, just throw the check away, you know. So you got to be really careful with that crap. I understand life gets tough. If something seems too good to be true, it almost always is. Go with your gut instinct on that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You might think, well, they can't throw me in jail for money, for owing money.
Oh, yeah, they can.
It's not money. It's not that you had that money and now you don't and can't pay it back that they'll get you and put you in jail for. What they'll do is they'll build a case against you for fraud, conspiracy to launder money, or
and
they'll make
identity theft.
And then, but the thing is, when the facts turn out that is what's happening, and you are involved as somebody who cashed the check and benefited from it, it's going to be difficult to sit in court and say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah. Because see, the way I got it was just out of nowhere before I got another message back about having to.
And banks pursue aggressively.
Oh, yes, they do.
You steal money from a bank, or somebody steals money from a bank, and you help them do it,
yeah,
knowingly or unknowingly, they pursue that aggressively. They want the story to get out. Do not cash those checks. And the only way that story's going to get out is if somebody says it through a window.
Yeah.
Or
a bar.
On a
Some
phone.
bars. Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole the whole Facebook thing is it reminds me of So I don't leave my location settings on any of my devices. So every time I go to log in somewhere else, it pops up as like somebody logged into your account from Indianapolis
Yeah.
or something like that. And I'm like, that's weird. Is
Yeah.
this suspicious activity? So I have changed my account password so many times just because it thinks that I'm logging in from a place that I'm not logging in from.
Yeah, I don't worry about that location thing. You know, you can tell them turn it on and off or don't share or whatever, but the fact of the matter is I'm pretty sure that they can probably see your location regardless.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me. Just-
Anytime you use the phone for anything, doesn't matter if you're using the GPS. What happens is that signal goes to the nearest tower.
and it triangulates you.
Yep. They can use the 3 nearest towers to
Yeah.
pinpoint exactly where you are.
Yeah.
And my favorite shape is not the triangle. So
Oh.
I just figured I'd throw that out there just to be weird. Did it work?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the moral of this story is, if you get something that seems kind of fishy, kind of weird,
Shady.
shady, go with your gut instinct on that. Because,
If you're saying, what? You're going to give me $400 for that? I'm in.
right, say, man, that seems too
How
good to
often
be true.
can we do this? You can do this 20 times a day. Today.
Yeah,
No, they'll say, shred that check. We're going to send you 20 checks.
yeah.
And we want you to go to all different banks because we want to see if those banks are doing what they're supposed to do.
Wow.
Don't give them any ideas, Jay.
Well, that's what they'll do.
Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff. And then, like, you had
You'll
somebody...
be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
took
people that
checks."
call you and say threaten you, saying that you owe like you're being accused of fraud or whatever.
You owe tax money.
You're being and there's a warrant out for your arrest.
Yeah.
And first of all, if you've got a warrant out for your arrest, they're not going to call you. And if
They're
they
gonna
do
knock
call
on your
you,
door.
it's not going to be somebody with an East Indian accent or some weird
Because
accent.
they're trying to get the phone to ring from the closet you're in so they can open the door and pull you out.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I thought it was funny because I watch videos of people getting caught doing this stuff all the time. Like they called the sheriff of this particular county, and he was on the phone with them. It's like, we are notifying your local sheriff now. He said, okay. I'm waiting, and he went through the whole entire spiel with him, and then finally he said, my badge number is such and such. I am the sheriff of this town, and this call is being traced. Click. So
They hung up.
I never understand. I guess I don't see how somebody can just totally ruin people's lives like that.
It's pretty heartless, yeah.
It is.
I guess because the struggles from the country that's doing it, where these things are popping up and where they're conducting these kinds of frauds, is so it's so desperate there.
Yeah.
You have families of people living in a alley with a tarp over it. You know what I mean?
And that's
no
an actual
bathroom.
physical address.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean,
I guess I don't.
there's a point where you gotta realize they're not really trying to steal, so to speak. Stealing is the means to the end, which is the food that they put on the table. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and what's the other opportunity, and what's the other way to do it? You know. How else are they going to do it?
I don't know. I think there's two groups of people. I think that there are those who are desperate, and I
Brother
think
David?
that there are those who just do it because they are greedy
Mm-hmm.
and lazy, which doesn't make any sense, because if these people put the same intelligence that they do towards putting these scams together, they actually would go further. And they'd actually get even further than where they are, because they'd be within the bounds of the law.
Yeah, but what does India have? 3 billion people in a country that's smaller than the United States.
Well, I mean, it's not
They-
just India.
That's what is that? Is that 100 times the population of the
Yeah,
United States?
It's insane. There's a lot. Like literally
Imagine
street
100 people living in your house.
street corners are actual physical addresses for
Yeah.
people, like home addresses. Like this spot on
I
the
mean,
curb.
I don't know. I've not researched it all and stuff, but I have heard about some of the conditions, and I have seen some
Or
video of it.
heaven
Like,
says,
I-
or or they are wanting money for drugs.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a laundry list of things that they probably want with this, and I guess they figure some people. I'm pretty sure some of them are like, but see, the guy that was
I don't know if
involved
there's
in
a
that
big
scam.
drug problem in India.
Well, the guy that was involved
Is
in
there?
that scam
Yeah,
that
there
I
is.
almost was a part of was American.
There is, and the thing is they actually have their own special. They have their own special thing that
I'm like, why am I
I
getting
don't
a check
know
from
how many
Pepsi
other
Cola?
countries have this, but I remember I was going to this organization that specializes in those letters to families in other countries where you help to support them. They specialize in that, and they walked us through and talked to us about how it was in India, and they have this special kind of drug that they don't have any other places in the world, which is basically a combination of chemicals
And
in a
it's-
strong drink. It's
Johnny
pretty
Rooster,
much like
welcome to the
drinking
show.
what you find in a cleaning cabinet.
Really?
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Well, I mean, and the check that came because they sent me another check after that.
They did.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
and it was from a different address each time they sent it.
Yeah.
And it was from a prominent
Sketchy.
companies that you think
Sketchy.
it's like, why in the world would I be getting that from this particular company? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
You said sketchy, and as soon as you said that, I was about to make a joke. We both simultaneously looked at your sketch.
Who did?
You looked at it just for a split second.
I said sketchy.
Sketchy.
Sketchy. Yeah, you already said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said moral of the story after you said your weird triangle comment, and I was about to say I thought the moral of the story was you're weird. But
Yeah.
apparently not.
Depends on what the story is.
Yeah. No, the moral of the story is
There are
be
many
careful
stories.
out there. There's a
within
lot
the
of people out
boundaries of
there
this
that
one
don't have
story.
any qualms about stealing your money
Mm-hmm.
from you, from your family. So if you're ever in doubt, if somebody calls you requiring your social security number or anything like that, do not give it to them unless you do business with them on a regular basis and you know who it is. Now, I will have to say that the companies that you send money through now are very, very hardcore about it. Like all right, so gather around, children. Let me first of all, let me remind everybody, hey, if you like what you're seeing, you like this program, and you want to see more like it, and you want to see us continue to grow, well, go online to axmediagroup.com, and there you can find a place to be able to donate and help us out and help us to cover our costs and as well to expand our hours of operation and our programming just in general. We have autism awareness programs and projects. We got Veterans Church, veterans programs. We have the Helping Hands Fund, which is for those people who need natural supplements to get by, to be able to live comfortably or more comfortably, but they don't have the funding to do that. This helps to offset that cost dramatically, the Helping Hands Fund does. And as well as we pick a person to be a recipient of the Kidney Fund, and that what it is we do fundraisers specifically for this purpose, that whenever they get their transplant done, this helps to pay the copays to all the anti-rejection medication. And there's stories about that on Axe Media Group as well. And as you're scrolling, you'll look to your right and you'll see a donate here button. Now until the 30th, folks, we have a dollar for dollar match. So your donations will go twice as far. And you can see how we use it right here on Axe Media Group and look on our website. So go on there, check it out. No gift is too small, no gift is too large. You can become a monthly donor or a monthly partner with us, or you can donate just one time. Even if it's $1, every little bit helps, and every little bit goes as far as we can get it. So, anyways,
Thank you.
yeah. All right. So where was I?
Something about Grandpa.
Donating.
Oh yeah. They were mom was wanting to get dad a new horse, right? Or wanting one of her own, or I don't remember, but she went online on this page on I think it was on Facebook, and this person is selling horse, beautiful horse, really good price, really good price for the horse, and again, it's one of those things. if is it too good to be true.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, Dad gets a hold of this person, and this person is supposedly out of in a different state, and Dad said, "Well, I'm not giving you however much it was. I think it was like $5,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a lot." Said, "I'm not going to give you that without seeing and riding the horse and making sure." The guy said, and he had a really thick accent, and he said, "I will send the horse down to you. You have to pay to have the horse brought down there so you could see the horse and visit with the horse, and but you have to pay the shipping, pay to the person who does it, and it'll cost $1,000. Oh no, it was $500." And Dad said, "Well, do you take PayPal?" And they said, "No. Only cash." "Well, you take a debit card. Do you take a check?" "No. Only cash." And they said, "Tell you what to do. Go to this place," which is a prominent money sending service. There was two of them. Two different services that Dad tried, and they wouldn't let him send it. Because Dad didn't know these people. And thank God.
Yeah.
And Dad and I both were explaining, "Mom, this is probably a scam," because
Well, they generally will say cash because cash is.
and just because
untraceable.
he has a foreign accent doesn't mean that's why. No, because there are plenty of Americans that do that same exact thing to people, scam artists and things like that. But in this case, Dad called him back and said, "You're either going to have to take PayPal or a check." And then Dad said, "Where are you from? You don't sound like you're from around here." And then eventually we looked up you do an image search on Google,
Yeah.
and it'll pull up that image. It'll find that image on the internet. And apparently this is like the 5th or 6th time this horse has been sold by this same person. But they do that same thing with real estate too. So if you're
sold
looking,
you a picture of a horse, really?
yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever you're looking for a place, like if you're wanting to buy a place, buy a house, and you look up something, and the owner says, "Well, I'm not there. I'll have to send somebody down there to meet you or whatever. But you gotta pay the gas for me to get down there," or something like that. Well, you go by, and there's, you can't get in. Well, people are working this out, and they're getting money for traveling down to show you the house from you, like a couple $100 or whatever. It's insane. There's so many different ways.
Scams.
Yes, very,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yeah, that's why normally people will, you'll be able to see the good or get the or have the service like the
Steve
house
Schultz.
showing before.
I saw all that
Anything
in
is
Mexico, he
expected.
said. Made me love USA more. Tanner, what does your shirt say?
It says Summit Park Kids.
Summit Park kids. I bought a pickup from a man in Blue Eye, Missouri, who didn't even have his name on the title and said he was getting it, and turned out to be another person's title, and it came back to me as a junk title, so it was not sellable.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you can get rid of the junk title. You have to get it working, get it fixed, get it fully repaired, and you have to take it to the state highway patrol,
Yeah.
and they have to do a thorough inspection of it, and then you go with that back to
A thorough inspection also includes a list of, not a list of receipts, the actual receipts for the work that was done. You have to bring all of the receipts that you put into it.
yeah.
The actual receipts.
So they
So
can
if you're wanting to do that, save your receipts
yeah.
and put them all in a folder because you're going to
And
need
even
them.
then on the title it says formerly salvaged title,
Yeah.
meaning it was a salvage title, but now it's not.
Yeah.
Well, the one I had did that Blazer of mine.
Yeah, I remember that.
That had the title on it said
You
formerly
beat that
salvaged.
thing up.
I was there whenever.
I did.
It's beat up. That's what they're for.
Well, you know.
Didn't it start breaking down whenever I was here?
Yeah, you and your brother both. It was 105 degrees outside, and we got stuck at a light. I hear clunk, you know, and then it just died just out of nowhere, right? So I get out. I pull the air breather off the top, and in the throttle body, there's water.
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's a sign of something.
So I got to start it again.
Because they don't run on water.
No, they don't. They sure don't. In where it was at, it's a bad place, because that means that there was water getting into the gas, whatever the
fuel,
gas fuel. Yeah. So
Fuel system.
and the oil.
Into the cylinders.
So we drove about another mile and it died again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we're standing out in these people's yard trying to find a tree to stand under because it's hot. Call Dad. Dad comes out. We get it running again. We managed to get it home, barely. But when you took the air breather off again, it looked like mud.
Yeah.
Where the water and the oil had mixed
Congealed,
and
yeah.
had been just. Yeah.
That was years ago now. Wasn't
Yeah, it was.
That was like 2 years.
Yeah. Dad said those are bulletproof motors, but apparently I put them to the test. Said you can do that with a salvage title, not a junk title.
Matt is a whole different kind of ordinance.
Yeah, I am. Thanks, Jay. That makes me feel good. The reason he did a junk title was because he didn't want to pay taxes on it, so he junked it, and it was a perfectly good vehicle. So you can't license a junk title either, can you?
Yeah, well, Jay is just always open to the point, just honest, right?
What did I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
Like, yeah. That's like a perfectly illogical answer to a question you didn't have.
right.
What did I say? I don't know what you're talking
Yes,
about.
yeah.
He did. Yeah. What?
Oh, when you said, whenever you said Matt is a completely different ordinance.
Oh, yeah, a whole different level of ordinance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I said that makes me feel good, and he said, yeah, Jay's always, if he's got something to say, he'll say it. He's always honest and upfront about it. And then you're like, what did I say? And we're like, yeah.
You know, I do respect that about you. And that's one thing that I tell people is whenever I talk about my personal growth and the people who have influenced me, I say you're one of them, especially because I learned from your openness and your just being upfront whenever,
And
no
your
matter
sternness.
what, no matter what, you know what I mean? And that's actually a good trait as long as you know how to,
Not be a butthole.
right.
I come across as a butthole a lot.
Sometimes, but not really. Not
I
really
work
as
hard
bad as
at
the thing. But it's time for us to get out of here. That's a horrible note to leave the show on.
What
So-
can I say? People just misunderstand.
What, the
I'm
last
misunderstood most of the
I don't
time.
misunderstand you. I get you. Of
Yeah.
course, you're my brother, so
I love you.
love you too. But hey, we're going to go ahead and jump out of here right now. We're going to get everything good and sanitized and get it ready for Dr. Paul Collins and
He'll
his
be
wife,
back.
Nancy, will be back here today for the happy hour starting at 9:30
Yeah,
a.m.
yeah.
We're real excited about it. That way, Jay can get it. I need to get Jay some coloring books
For what?
so you can color.
Philip told me to respect my elders.
I don't.
Who told you that, Steve?
Steve,
Heaven says goodbye.
Bye.
goodbye.
All right, so I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive today. We'll be back on Monday, same time, same channel. And I'll have my computer this time. So,
we needed that Trump cat video there.
yeah, right. Meow, meow.
Yeah.
We didn't even get started with that today.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for the last 3 days now. Meow, meow, meow.
Meow.
No, guy. Meow. Fantastic. Anyways, so again, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us today. We'll be back on Monday, same time, same channel. Until then, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Tanner.
And this has been
The Morning Drive.